Hello, it's another rainy day in Seattle. Welcome, Group A. So we have the Magician. This is a rune which says joy and light, the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and your Oracle is reconsider. So your purpose in this person's life. We're going to start with the Magician. Magician and a rune. So this energy gives me Gemini, as you see there, but also really not even necessarily Gemini, but just air energy along with fire. So you could be a kind of a type A personality where you're open, you're okay being seen. Like, I wouldn't say you're like the center of attention, but you don't mind being the center of attention. You're highly inspiring. You have this optimism about you. Like, yes, it's like new wind when you first wake up in the morning. You're almost like a busybody energy. You like to go get things done, so on and so forth. So this person that you're connected to and you're wondering what was your purpose in their life, like, what was the reason behind this connection, they could have been a little more on the gloomy side. I'm getting two scenarios with this individual, but they could have been someone who is a little less optimistic, so pessimistic. And this person could have also desired to travel. I don't know if they are, like, let's say they're in the States and they have family overseas, and they were wondering, like, should I go visit my family? I'm in school now, or, I have this job now, and I'm not certain if I can make up the rest. Like, I'm getting that scenario for some, or this person could have just wanted to travel and literally get their passport and go overseas and expand their horizons. And so you probably inspired this person to do just that, and that was your purpose in their life. Not only just doing that alone, but pepping them up. It's like you seem like you're their cheerleader, so to speak. And also it's as if you're doubting that too. This could be someone that you're no longer speaking with, or the communication is a bit scarce. So with that, overseas example, maybe, I don't know, they don't have WhatsApp, or maybe their Wi-Fi is bad, whatever they're at, wherever you inspired them to kind of go to, something of that nature. And you're wondering, okay, he doesn't really talk to me now that he's moved overseas, or I don't know, since this has happened, the communications, it's not bad, but it's not as consistent as you may want it to be. And so you're questioning, did I even influence this person? What was the whole point? What was the purpose of meeting them? Well, maybe you're not aware of it, or you are aware of the fact that this person could have been in a negative headspace, or just spiritually kind of down. They could have been an introvert as well too. And not saying introverts are down, but just saying this person could have been rather withdrawn and okay being by themselves. Also really focused on their work, studies, something of that nature. And had this desire, like I was saying, to expand their horizons, to do more. And maybe they were just doubting so much of their capabilities.
And I'm also getting the scenario where this person could have been a photographer or into photography, videography, things of that sort. And you were their muse. Literally, you were brought into their life to be their muse. You perhaps were modeling for them in their startup. This could have been a startup entrepreneur in the beginning stages. They still could be in the beginning stages, but it's you kind of help strike the match and that spark for them. Oh, you're really good at this, and so on and so forth.
And you're like, no, you can do it. And you probably help them look for flights, look for Airbnbs, look for hotels. You probably help them plan out this whole, because this group, it feels like you guys help someone kind of get out of their own way when it comes to moving and shaking and traveling. And it's as if you're wondering whether or not they got the message. And so, or how was your spark in their life, or is the flame dwindled? You kind of set the tone, so to speak, by your connection with them, or you connected with this person to set this tone for them to establish themselves elsewhere. And you could be doubting that, and this could have you in kind of a little bit of a dark place, or you feel as if a little bit you're questioning it, questioning your capabilities. Like, well, because maybe it's because that communication that I'm getting that could be a little off. So you're like, well, this person didn't say that I mattered that much to them, or this person didn't really express that I was this light in their life. So you're doubting, like, does this even apply to me? Like, was I really? But you for sure were. And that's what you were intended to be in this person's life, was this guiding light, even if it led to you being in two different directions. Now, I do see where there could become a point in time where you two do reconnect, where they will invite you where they are. Can't tell you exactly when, but I see that being a high chance and possibility. And when you go back into this person's life, not saying that they're going to be like, yes, you're this force in my life that really helped me, but perhaps, but they're definitely going to connect with you again because they feel as if you were that force in their life that inspired them. And so once they get kind of out of this space where, because it feels as if this person could kind of be like overthinking, or how they think about things almost highly critically, and they're focused on their work. This person feels like they're focused on their work, their career, their studies, whatever they're pursuing. And once that's kind of like died down, then I see them wanting to move and create and connect with you and create that atmosphere where they're like, they make you feel a little less divided from them. Yeah. So, they may invite you where they are, or they may come back and they want to see you, something like that. And this person recognizes you as someone that they probably thought they'll never really meet. Like, they'll never meet someone like this or someone like you. It's almost like through this journey of separation and them learning and whatever they're doing right now, because it feels like there's distance between you and this person now, they're observing through each encounter and experience that you were highly significant in their life. And that could be also what brings them back to you. Like I said, I'm not sure if this person's going to say you were the holy grail of all, but they feel that way. They feel like, wow, when Group A was in my life, like they're going to come to that knowing that it was like all sunshine and rainbows, really. It was almost like unreal. And that, it's like they're comparing it to how maybe basic their life is now. Like, they're just doing things that they're passionate about, but as far as however you got this person out of their shell, they're noticing that there's no one really like you. They haven't met anyone like you. And they could have said this to you in so many words, or maybe those little words, but they still came off like a little bit detached. This also gives me like Aquarius vibes. It's so weird. So you could be a fire sign, you could be dealing with Aquarius, or you could be like, it's something like air fire here, but however, like some earth rising placements. Anyway, but we get the energy here if you're drawn to this group. But yeah, so that was your purpose in their life. You really brought a light to them. And I feel like this is how you are naturally. You are this person in a lot of people's lives, but particularly this person that you're guided to ask for, like, what was the point? Because maybe you two are literally detached. That was it. It was just being you, And definitely you're going to see that when this person comes back around, how magnetic your energy truly is. Hello, Group B. So we have the Princess of Water, the Hangman, and for your oracles, be grateful. And it's food meditation here at the bottom. I can. So what I noticed just after doing the shuffle and just sitting with this energy for a while, the hand placements here. So we have two cards, two different decks, of course, with their hands up. And it's like one looks as if with this Princess of Water, it's illuminating a star. And the sun's like a star, right? So the sun's a star. However, and there's like another energy mirroring it. So your purpose in this person's life, it feels as if you brought a lot of joy in this person's life. Particularly around the fact that this could have been a person that had either a really bad start in love in life. So maybe they don't have the best relationship with their mom or mother figure, and that was rather tainted. And so your impression on them was very positive, or is very positive, enlightening. Literally, it just feels as if your purpose was to bring joy in this person's life and allow them or help them to look at things from a different perspective, especially when it comes to maternal energies. So it feels as if you're drawn to this group, that you have like a particularly innocence about you, rather notable. So you could get that a lot, that you have this kind of fun, childlike innocence to you and spirit. And you really invited that into this person's life. You could have been rather open to going. This is his food meditation, so I'm getting like tastings, food tastings. You could be a foodie, as well as I'm getting like Chicago tasting for some reason. So maybe you two participated in something like that. So you invited a new way of thinking into this person's life, and that was your purpose. With this card saying I can and be grateful, with those two paired together, this person could have been rather pessimistic in terms of just their outview on love itself and their connection to life and what they were believing they were capable of achieving, especially maybe in relationships. And this, even if this was like a platonic connection, you really help open this person up to thinking more positive, to new ideas, especially as it weighs heavily to like new ideas and like how they may want to perceive their upbringing, so to speak, and what they could have experienced in their childhood that led them to be on this path where they didn't really have the healthiest the healthiest approaches to their connections with women. This does feel like more so of a masculine energy that was in this space, and you being in this person's life was really like a key to unlocking that new door of reasoning and understanding that maybe not everyone's like what they experienced in their past or in their childhood. So it feels as if you really lifted this person up. You really lifted this person up and made them feel really good about themselves and invited new things into their life. Like I mentioned earlier with the food, for example, it may not have just been food. It could have been the arts too. Like maybe you're into going to the museum. You're like, hey, let's go to this museum, or I have these tickets for this comedy show, or just those kind of things because of the spirit that you carry. That could be rather you go for things. You're like, you kind of don't really second guess things. If you see an opportunity, you feel great about it, you just pursue it. And it's very sincere. And this person could have really been observing you, or really could be observing these behaviors from you for a while. And just think, oh, Gerby is like so innocent, so sweet, so like different than what I'm used to. And that was your purpose in their life, really to let them see that not everybody in this world is like what they have experienced. Hello, Group C. So we have the Queen of Water and the Six of Pentacles. For your oracles, we have balance and set healthy limits and boundaries. So what I found interesting initially after doing the pre-shuffle, there's two cards indicating balance here. So for your purpose in this person's life, just overall, It feels as if, for one, you have an emotional balance within. You've mastered some form of emotional balance within, and you're able to project that energy onto this person. They're highly receptive of that. And maybe they were finding it rather difficult. What I mean by that is you could be the type of person, this feels like a feminine energy. So you could be a feminine energy that will ask them, how do you feel? And help them basically process their emotions. And if they're experiencing something that could be rather chaotic or just getting them out of whack, maybe they work too much, right? Let's use that for example. Let's say they just work a lot and you're like, well, how do you feel about being at work for 11 hours? And you're the one that would ask about their day, and do you feel okay about this and that, so on and so forth, and help them kind of reassess how they were going about living. With this oracle at the top as well too, with set healthy limits and boundaries, it's as if you provided them with a garden of opportunities to see within themselves how they were creating their own inner turmoil. So in so many ways, like you go into a garden, you see, your herbs and your flowers and everything that's in their weeds, and you're like, okay, they're able to kind of weed through and see, like, group C's right. Like, I have been kind of creating this atmosphere, setting this tone for myself. Really, your purpose was to bring in this balance. This person could have been like experiencing something challenging right before you met them. So let's say they had a car they just got, it started having issues. Something was going on in their life, and it could have been rather practically that they were trying to resolve, and things were just kind of building up on this person, and you were this like sun in their life, helping them balance the emotions and ride the wave of life in the right way.
Okay, so I just wanted to add that this connection could feel rather reciprocal, or could have felt rather reciprocal. And in a sense, you were providing this person with this more reassurance and confidence and balancing their own emotions, because it looks as if they were experiencing some form of a turmoil, maybe prior or just during meeting you, and they're finding it difficult to just sustain themselves with those matters of life and not allowing them to overtake them. So that could have been how you pour into this person, and in some sense they were pouring back into you. Maybe it was the reassurance, just letting you know and confirming that your intuitive nudges were actually correct, because it does feel as if you're drawn to this group, that you are an empath. You could even receive premonitions in your dreams. And this person was that confirmation for you, like, hey, you're on the right path here, and confirming to you what you were always believing or what you were always feeling.